When we got down in that room, I had 6 marshals standing shoulder to shoulder surround me, and William Rehnquist came down from up in his chambers to see me, and I says, I have your signed confession for treason against the United States people. I says, I've used parsé syntax grammar against your opinion since you've been in office. He says, okay, guys, you can all leave now. Mr. Miller and I are going to sit in this closed room. You've already frisked him. He has no weapons. He doesn't seem to be of stature that can overpower me. And we're going to have a little discussion. So for the next 2.5 hours, William Rehnquist and I became very good friends. And until he died and I removed him from office in June of 2005, we were pretty good friends. I taught him syntax, the math interface on grammar, and he taught me all the secrets of the procedures of judges. But a lot of the things he taught me, he was in error of, because 2/3 of all the words were missing from the procedures by which he wanted to formulate answers. The fraud that takes place here is profound with the courthouses and the courts. And you know, people say, we're in court and the judge says, this is Judge Wasilewski, he says, you know, David, after he took away my children in 1980, I went to trial 65 consecutive times, 2 weeks apart, under what's called a writ de novo. Now, this is a pronoun, adverb, adverb, verb. But if you put for the writ of de novo, then this becomes a 5, a 6, a 7, a 5, a 6, and a 7. This is French, but D means the, in novo, it would then become a fact. So I filed for the writ of the de novo. Now what that means is if you violate equality, that's discrimination, that's a crime. 1964 Civil Rights Act violation. So for the writ of de novo is your ticket to get a free trial for anything. I don't care what it is. They cannot move forward on any topic. They want to foreclose your house, and they use adverb verb. They didn't give you equal protection of the law. That's a prepositional phrase. For the protection of the law using the correct parsé syntax grammar. Therefore, you can sue for a writ of de novo just for the be correct on the grammar. Doesn't matter if you got a mortgage or a deed of trust. Indiana uses the terminology mortgage. California uses the terminology deed of trust. Deed is a pronoun, of is an adverb, making trust a verb. The word mortgage, by it stands alone on top of your document, is called a pronoun. There's no prepositional phrase. You know, if I hold up this object, you see a pen. In Spanish, it's scribola. And if I hold this object about 5,000 languages, I'll get 5,000 different sounding effects to what it is. Does 2 plus 2 equal 4? How many of you think 2 plus 2 equals 4? All right, just all's fair. Did you hear what I said, what I meant, what I said, what I said, what I meant, what I said? I can do this 150 different ways before I'm going to get it right. So don't ever presume what you think I said, because if my lips are moving, I'm lying to you. That's what a judge said to me. He says, all you got to do is prove it. He says, and in 8,500 years, Wasilewski says, no one has ever proved it. And I said to him, I said, oh, I says, I know what you said to me. You said to me, wait a minute. He says, you mean to say if I say yes, you're going to say no? He says, well, you're here to arrest our judges. I says, yeah, I have warrants for 33 judges in your courthouse, signed by the United States Supreme Court and the World Court at The Hague. I'm the chief judge of Hawaiian Islands, federal judge. I says, you guys are only district, which is demon god of the underworld for trickery judges. I says, so you don't have any standing here. I says, I've got the only standing. I says, not only that, you anchored your vessel, which is your courthouse building, on our island. He says, I'm the elected king of Hawaii, and you've got your vessel anchored on my island. Do you have a drogue law? That means to anchor. In the correct parsec syntax grammar, to anchor your vessel on my island? I don't think so. Do you have a sea pass, S-E-E, to pass through our borders? Do you have a sea treaty, S-E-A, to move your vessel amongst the sea of space? You don't have any of these treaties? It means you're trespassing. He says, and I've got warrants for your arrest. So then 3 marshals come down. Yeah, what are you doing here? I says, I'm a sovereign. I'm the only sovereign in the United States. I have my own country. My own country. And guess what the land of my country is? The land of the courtroom during the time of contract. No one has ever claimed the land of the courtroom during the time of contract. So every courtroom I go into on planet Earth is my country on planet Earth because I was appointed to me through the United Nations, where all 200 countries treated with me, saying, when you come into a courtroom, you are the senior chief judge under land of the contract, and because your contracts are written in quantum grammars, which creates the constitution of the land of the contract. The courtroom. And the courtroom is not a geographical location, it's paper, folks. The land of paper is the contract. Because the contract of the paper is not bonded to the room is just a point of convenience. So, what is a courtroom? A courtroom is a piece of paper. And the words on the paper are the thoughts. Hold a thought in your hand, show me the three-dimensional object of the thought. So therefore, the understanding of the courtroom is the correct parsec syntax grammar on paper in a geographical location that is neutral called the land of the courthouse or the land of the courtroom. Now, let's say we were in court today. And every person in this room sat here in front of me with a different contract, one for divorce, one for trespassing, one for shoplifting, one for traffic, drunk driving, underage. And as a result of that, does your contract for traffic have anything to do with his divorce or his marriage or his trespassing? The answer is no. So each one of your paper contracts that you have is a vessel in a sea of space. And your name is on that document. Therefore, that is your bill of lading, your passport to be in the closed area called court. And the condition, the contract, the words on that document, if they're written in adverb verb, say nothing. Therefore, they're called art, A-R-T. Vowel and 2 consonants, no contract. How do you spell ink? I-N-K. I-N means no, K is knowledge. You have no knowledge because you put ink on paper in adverb verb. They've been advertising in plain view to all of us throughout your entire life. And just like all the pictures on the wall here, they're all in a box, which is called framing. And framing is a box under 4 corners, which is an enclosed area and can't be considered, so you can't be insulted by any one of the pictures or have any subjective interpretation as to the condition of what the people look like because they're in a box. The lawyers and the attorneys and this whole thing about syntax is in front of you every place you go and everything you do, all the time. The unique thing is that we are here, and I'm talking to you in real time, and we're all on the same plane, P-L-A-N-E. That means you can see me and you can hear me. Now, sheet of paper. I just disappeared. You can't see me anymore. I'm on a stage. Even though it's 0.02 of an inch thick, called a piece of paper, I changed my plane. I just disappeared. Now I'm on a stage. On a stage, you can't see me. You can't hear me. You can't be insulted by me in any way, shape, or form. It's only your subjective interpretation as to what you see and hear now. That's why actors, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 44.1, all judges are actors. And they're on a different plane than you are.